Okay, since I get a Dead by Daylight bingo, I decided I can play something else. Let's see what new games are out. It's a new Zelda game! Damn, I really love Breath of the Wild. And this is a direct sequel to it. Man, I need to play it. Yeah. Tunic is a game where you play as who's wearing a tunic. And your main goal is, well, to basically understand what's going on. As there is no intro, no exposition, or even informational screen. You just wake up at the beach, good morning, here you go, have fun. And after checking which button does what, I went to check the world. Not far now, there is a house in a rock. And I was almost expecting to find old men offering me quests, or at least a sword. But all I get was a chest with a I forgot I cannot read. All I got was a stick, with which I immediately start whacking everyone around. Later I found a huge gate, and upon touching it, it teleported me to some strange place, where I learned that I can solve the problems with violence. Oh yeah, and also there were a full-size fox. Anyway, after waking up outside, I decided, since it's a game, the best course of action would be to go to forest and look for a hero sword. So I switched my stick to it, and actually never have to use the stick anymore in the game. It's been 10 minutes, and it's already solved its purpose. After getting deeper in the forest, I found a few more bombs and spiders, which were deceivingly tame right until they just straight up killed me. Waking up in the spirit world again, I found the full-size fox can actually bring you back to life. That's convenient. A few firecrackers later, I was able to go through the guardhouse and found a bell. And as we learned in the spirit world, violence solves all problems. And most likely, as in the spirit world, there should be a second one in the main world as well. So, I decided to check the town. And it's not a town at all. It's just a bunch of doors right in the mountain again, except for one, which is clearly made out of bricks. But obviously it was closed, so I had to get the key using my unparalleled skills. After that, I was able to find a shield, which is one of the most useful or worthless items in the game, depending on your playstyle. There are two ways you can use your shield. You can either simply block, or you can try to parry. Successful parrying is one of the most rewarding things in the game, as it will not only block the attack, it will also stun the enemy for a few seconds. And blocking? Well, let's just say it's not always working. Okay, but let's go back. After exploring for some time, I was able to find the dungeon beneath the well. And few exploding monsters later, I was able to find a lantern, which helps you to see in the dark. And that is exactly what we need it for. Dark Tomb is holding its name for a reason. It's really dark. Even with the lantern, you can see not that much around you. Thankfully, enemies' eyes are also glimmer in the darkness, so you wouldn't be attacked out of nowhere. Opening the door at the end of a dungeon finally opens the way for West Garden. West Garden is a peacefully looking place, with green grass and pink trees? Okay. A few crocodiles later, I found a necklace that the game for some reason calls Magic Dagger. It freezes enemies on place for easier hits. And here is our first real boss in the game, Garden Knight. Okay, it doesn't look that hard. Finally, after defeating the Garden Knight, the road to second bell is open. Now the door from the beginning of the game is open, so we can go there and check what's inside. Oh, yeah, right. I don't know what I was expecting. But in short, there are 3 pedestals for different stones, red, green and blue. So I guess now I need to go and find them. Also in the temple you can find a page that teaches you how to pray. In the manual there are little hints or where you can find the stones. So let's start with the redstone. It says that it's coveted in Forest Temple. And the very first thing you see in the forest is actually a huge monolith. All you need to do is kneel before it for 3 seconds. And it will turn on the energy. That's a little excessive. Like, imagine you would need to kneel for 3 seconds every time you need to turn light in the bathroom. Anyway, entering the fortress, I found some wolves, I guess? But the main point is that they were not very happy to see me. Turning on some more monoliths allowed me to open the fortress door and access the second boss. Now this one does look much scarier. But to defeat it, the best way is just to stay as close as possible. And after a few tries, here we go, a red stone. Next one is green, which is stolen to the top of the sky. Huh, what could that mean? I spent too much time trying to figure out where to go now, until I was able to figure out that you can actually teleport with these golden plates. And with one of it, I was able to find a new manual page with table of contents, and it showed me that I need to go to Ruin at Hall. So I just teleported there. And in this beach-themed zone, all you need to do is just turn on 4 monoliths in 4 corners of the map. That will activate a huge teleport in the middle. But wait, before you go there, first you need to go to Frog's Domain. I completely missed the entrance the first time, and wasted too much time trying to figure out where I need to go, until I checked the manual and it just directly pointed me to the correct way. Making short work of all frogs, I was rewarded with this. What is this? I have no idea, but it allows you to pull yourself to something or pull it towards you if it's light enough. Other words is grappling hook. Oh yeah, and stone. It was here, but apparently it was stolen. Now we can go to the teleport, and it will take us to library. And it looks like this library is somewhere in the sky, so I guess you know where this is going. There are no enemies here. Only pages of manual and a teleportation plate that looks like it was ripped from somewhere else. Finally, at the very top, you will find an even bigger wolf that can fly, it can summon ghosts, and shoot with swords. After defeating him, you get the green stone. Great, only one left, and it is sealed in the root of the world. So next stop is Quarry. Here I found a new type of enemies, Scavengers. They were ripping one of the monoliths apart. Getting too close to it would cause you to lose your maximum health, so don't do it.
Stop it. Get some help.
Once you would get through all of it, you will find a gas mask, which will turn you into a Creek Stormtrooper and stop you from losing your health when exposed to miasma. But we still need to go deeper. On lower levels you can also find Gun, which is very powerful, but it drains your magicka even faster than the Ice Dagger. And you would definitely need the mask, but this whole place is filled with miasma. Finally, I found an elevator that took me way down underground. The ziggurat, as the game calls it, does look very futuristic, and it's filled with mechanisms everywhere, but I guess nothing can stop Determined Fox. Inside there is a... something straight out of a horror movie? You cannot interact with it in any way, but it definitely follows you with its eyes. Okay, let's not stick around. There's also a second elevator that will take you... What the hell? What was that? It's creepy beyond anything before. I did not expect anything like this in a game with he's a small fox. Fine, let's see what else we got. Great, and here I thought this game couldn't get any creepier. Next room is filled with miasma. There is actually so much of it that some of it becomes sentient and actively attacks you. Even your Krieg's mask is useless at this point, as if they managed to hit you, you would still lose maximum health, even with mask. Luckily, it's just a short part, at the end of which you just need to defeat 2 wardrobes and activate a monolith. Moving forward reveals that there are more than a few of those monoliths created. Actually, there are countless amount of those. And at the very end, there is a final Scavenger. And my god, is it a tough one. He keeps jumping across the area, or shoot you with a gun, like if it's not using any magic at all. And if you get too close to him, he just kicks you away. But once you defeated him, you are rewarded with final blue stone. Bringing back all 3 stones to the temple breaks the barrier. But even the game itself asks me what's now. Yeah, like if everything's before was clear. In short, what you need to do is just teleport in the sword room. After speaking with a full-size fox, you get your reward. A slap to the face. Air, as apparently it is called, does not waste a lot of time killing me. Waking up at the same beach as at the beginning of the game, it is clear that something happened to the world. It's darker and there are a bunch of fox ghosts everywhere. But I still don't understand a single word they say, so back to the manual. And apparently I need to go to swamp. At the swamp there were ghosts and skeletons, nothing unusual. And after activating a few more monoliths, I was able to get inside the cathedral. It is filled with little foxes, but they're quite slow and does not possess any threat. I guess that's the one depicted in manual, drinking miasma. But after getting through all of it, I was able to get to some sort of arena. An hour later, I was able to defeat them all and received, I don't know, some kind of halo? It somehow allows me to dash through space. So now I could get all the items from hero graves. See, during the game you stumble upon them but never could reach the item because of the gap. As it turns out, it's not the item at all, it's just something you need to restore your body. Now, when this body is restored, I could go back to air. But it is still impossible. Fine, maybe I'm not ready yet. Manual keeps pointing to the importance of Holy Cross, whatever that is. So, I assume it should be somewhere at the top of the mountain behind the door that I cannot open. I figured out how you can open regular doors, but this door does not have any pattern. At this point, I just gave up and went back to air. And I still couldn't defeat it, until one time I was checking the manual, I noticed this spell.
Sub-Zero. Round 1. Fight! Round 2. Fight!
And finally, with my newly Sub-Zero power, I was able to defeat air. And get a game over screen. But probably you want to know how to get a good ending. Fine. Let's see what we need to do that. To get to the good ending, all you need is actually just to gather all the manual pages, which is easier said than done. In my case, I didn't have the pages for Fairy Quest and obviously the Mountain Door, both of which would be very impressive if you would manage to get them on your own without getting any information from the internet. especially the mountain door puzzle, as it does require you to get almost every other manual page and find all clues on them to get the pattern you need to input. Once you get all of them, all you need to do is just go to Air one more time and show the results of your hard work. And since from bad ending we got that this is a previous trapped in this dimension, he does know of all the struggles we went through to get all those pages. So instead of fighting, Air just gives a little tear and turns into a big... So what else can I say? This is the best Legend of I ever played.